Achha.
So buckle up for an insightful journey into the data-driven world where AI is the key to unlocking countless possibilities for optimizing employee well-being and organizational success. Please join me in welcoming on stage Mr. Kartikey Kandoi, founder and proprietor of the firm MS Kandoi & Co., who would be chairing the session. May we have a round of applause, please. He is the founder of the firm MS Kandoi & Co. with a decade of experience in actuarial, specializing in employee benefits, and his expertise lies in providing 360-degree solutions for actuarial, accounting, and advisory globally. I would also like to invite Mr. Jitendra Keswani, Senior Director, Actuarial Leader, Mercer, having 25 years of overall experience, who leads the Indian Actuarial Center supporting the defined benefit actuarial business across the globe. May we have a round of applause. I'd also like to invite Mr. Hemanshu Jain, Lead Consulting Actuary, Mercer, with over 14 years of management consulting experience in retirement and employee benefit industry. May we have a round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. We will be talking about the operational aspect of actuarial work that we do. So it's going to be slightly different compared with the other two sessions which you have heard. And both Hemanshu and I are not AI experts, but we are going to share with you what our experiences and experiments have been, what we are trying to do in Mercer to, to help with the data phase. But to start with, can I? Okay, just a little bit of introduction. I manage the actuarial operations in Mercer. The team performs actuarial valuations. Hemanshu is the consulting actuary on the India business side. I'm a part of a global capability center, so manage operations for several other countries, including India. A little bit about Marsh McLennan. Marsh McLennan is a professional services firm. We are in the areas of risk, strategy, and people. Through 4 global businesses, Marsh, Mercer, Guy Carpenter, and Oliver Wyman, we provide professional services in helping and managing risks. A little bit about Mercer. Mercer is into health, wealth, and career. On the wealth side, defined benefit, defined contribution, that's the consulting we provide, and also on the investment side. Then on career side, we help remuneration surveys, help manage benefit plans for employees of our clients, and on the health side, again, the health benefits. But overall, it's an arm where we provide health, wealth, and career services. Coming closer to what both of us do, I manage actuarial operations, and he is into managing employee benefit business for India. But when we look at it, roughly 6,000 valuations are performed in India for several countries, for more than 20 countries. So when I say 6,000 valuations, imagine that we touch roughly 10 million lives. When we look at the assets under management, we're talking about some 600 billion assets. Why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you this? Because it gives you a sense of amount of data that we handle. And the amount of data that we handle on daily basis becomes part of our core job. I'm taking an example of one of the processes that we handle, which is the valuation process, to highlight my point. We have divided the valuation process into various phases. When you look at starting from planning to the report phase, look at the data phase. Our actuaries, and I'm talking about now 6,000 valuations, imagine 500 people working on this. They're spending roughly 40% of their time on data phase. Now, what do we do in the data phase? Data phase is about cleaning the data, massaging the data, putting it in a format which is required for the next phase, which is the baseline phase or liability phase. So actuaries are spending a lot of their time, 40% of their time, in doing something which probably does not require core actuarial skills. It requires analytical skills. Don't think that I'm not saying that does not require technical skills, but does not require core actuarial. Core actuarial skills are required in baseline phase and liability phase, where you have to take decisions. So how do we manage this 40% of the time in a way that we spend more time in adding value for our clients? Then going on to the report phase. Report phase is kind of a summary that we create for our clients. Again, this is the phase where actual inputs are required, but there is a lot of work which probably can be done without core actuarial skills. So these are the questions which we have been thinking about, that how can we manage, how can we be more efficient, and AI is the buzzword. It's over the lunch, in the morning, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people in the conference. Invariably, AI has appeared in those conversations. Why? Because it is something everyone is thinking about. It is something everyone is thinking, how can we leverage and can become more efficient? What we have done, and this is no way the entire landscape of what AI can do, but these are some of the experiments which we are trying at Mercer. So content generation is one key area where we feel artificial intelligence is going to significantly help. And report phase, which I was talking about, becomes a part of content generation phase. So imagine there's a click, you click on a button, and whatever work which you have done till the liability phase, somebody is summarizing it to you in few seconds. We have been trying it. We have not reached a phase where we can clearly say that, hey, the report will be 100% done by AI, but that's one step we are taking. Another example I give you on the content side is, let's say whenever our actuary is going to meet a client, you require some kind of an information package on that client. What are the problems that client is facing? We have been able to automate it using AI within a click of a button. In case that client's information resides in the backend data, obviously that database is required, you will get a packet which you can take for the meeting. And this process used to take around 8 to 10 hours for a person to do that research and bring that analysis out. So that's the power of the AI. The discussion of this forum is more around data. So on the data side, also we have been engaging with some of our partners to come up with a code which can help us analyze data faster. I'll give you an example. Let's say in year one, you receive data where there are 3 columns which you're adding to get the salary which you require to calculate liabilities. Next year, when you do that analysis, those 3 columns are there as is, but there's another 4th column, a small component which has to be added to get to the correct answer. How do I do it today? I'll add those 3 columns, I'm going to compare it with last year, and then I will probably figure out, hey, there's 4th column which is missing. AI is able to do it for me. Because when you combine the power of big data and with language processors are able to read what the column names are. And the data is can be generated in a way that how human beings and an analyst is working on it. So these are some of the test cases. I'm not going to go through all of them on paucity of time. But we are testing, we are trying it out. And this is some food for thought for everyone who's in this field, that to try out these technologies and experiment. This is a survey which was conducted by Mercer of CHROs, Chief Human Resource Officers of several companies. 2 numbers which I want to highlight. First one is around 60% of them think that they will be using AI in the next 12 months in some of their processes. Look at the last one, same number, roughly 60% of them think that generative AI will be able to impact 20% of their processes. Now look at the number in the middle. Most of them, 66% of them think that we are not truly utilizing the potential of AI today. The tools, technologies, and the processes, the staff, people who we have, we are not at a stage where we can actually take complete advantage of what this technology can offer. So what the point I'm trying to make is, despite that, they feel that 20% of their processes will be impacted by AI. So that's a big number. That's something which everyone should be looking forward to. Another research, this is through the internet only, this is not Mercer research. A study was done by Microsoft where generative AI tool was given to the coders, and they realized that 56% the task was done faster when they were using the AI-based tool. Another study which was on college graduates, they were given some projects to work on. When they were taking advantage of AI, they were 56% faster. Similarly, there are a lot of areas where studies have been done, test cases have been made, and proven that this technology can help us in a big way. The best part, to my mind, about this technology is this is a relatable technology. Everybody can understand it. ChatGPT, everyone has used it. So we know how it works, and we are able to infuse in our work in a much faster way. I'm not somebody from the technology background, but I can very clearly tell you people in all honesty, when blockchain came, I still don't understand it. But when it comes to AI, you are able to relate with it, you are able to use it, you are able to. So what we are doing in Mercer is we are trying to democratize this process. Several tools have been given to the entire staff, entire population, and they have been requested to experiment and try it out. Now I'll stop, and now I'll go back, and we have a few more questions which Kartikey is going to help us with, and then we'll open it for questions for everyone else.
Thank you, Jitendra ji. So, I would like to ask that, so do you see the AI is a benefit or a negative impact on your organization in terms of actuarial valuation practice of employee benefits as well as the HR consultancy?
Again, I am from operations, so I will answer more from operations aspect, and then Hemanshu, you can give your perspective. Definitely from actual process point of view, it's going to make us efficient. It's going to open up a lot of opportunity in terms of what kind of analysis we can provide to our clients, the kind of detailed work that we can provide using the actuarial capabilities that have. This tool is going to help us unlock that potential. As I mentioned earlier as well, today I believe actuaries are doing things which probably can be done by someone who does not have core actuarial skills as well. So from that perspective, making the process efficient, making it faster, giving us more time to provide better services to our clients. That's how I look at it.
That's nice. And how about actuarial work you see?
So I'll give it from the broader employee benefits perspective. I think it's a technology which is available for all, and most of our clients are also using it. So in future, how I see it is that the clients will have a higher expectation from the consultant in areas like, let's say, benchmarking exercises that we do on the employee benefit side. I think the client expectation would be that now moving forward, first the organization with which they are engaging with should have a more credible data, more useful data, which is otherwise not available publicly. And with that, they're able to solve much more complex problems because for the simple kind of tasks, they might expect internally also they can utilize these kind of tools. So I think data collection, how we are looking across data from multiple years, like for example in our actuarial process, can we utilize when we are producing an actuarial report, can we utilize not only last year data to validate what information they have provided now, but also past 2-3 years of data, and can come back with maybe certain recommendations on assumptions, or maybe come back with more checks that can help identify some problems which are with their data. So I think the client expectation will also rise as we look to adopt this technology.
And if I extend the same question to the large volume of data, like you mentioned, you are churning the valuation for, let's say, 6,000 plus companies. So the data is huge. So compared to the models you are currently using, how do you feel that the new AI technology will help you giving the additional outputs and the benefits in terms of the large volume of data? And similarly, if any government assignment, let's say, come to you, similar to what Mr. Kulin discussed in the earlier session on the OPS versus NPS. So how AI can help in the large volume of data?
So from Indian market perspective, I think it is right that some of the schemes will have very large data specifically on the government side, and probably right now we are using in most of those cases a nodal point approach to probably restrict that data. With the use of these technology tools, I think we can have a much more analysis, like for government organizations, we can have their own mortality study being done. Because I think processing itself become faster. Like I think it's said in the morning session that we can utilize AI as a co-pilot. So while we are looking to do or put those efforts, what we are previously putting in processing the actual valuation, but we can look to give better insights on the individual clients. My understanding of the technology is it's currently very dependent on the kind of data that we are providing it. So there are chances of biasness, there are chances of maybe errors in the assessment that it does. So we need to be cautious, we need to take one step forward, but the potential looks to be quite high when we look at these new technologies of AI.
Correct. The point Hemanshu was trying to make was about errors, and so it depends on amount of data that you have inputted. It's going to be test and try. It's not going to be that first time you write the code and all the 6,000 valuations will be churning out within a click of a button. It's not working like that, and we've experimented with that. So you sort of teach the model again and again what is the kind of analysis that you want to do. You've done it 50 times. Probably the 60th time, 51st time when you're looking at it, you will be able to get correct answer without teaching the model again and again. And that's what we are leaning towards. And it's working. Even if it is not giving us 100% accurate result, again, I'll go back on the point of efficiency. If I'm taking today 80 hours just scrubbing the data, if I can reduce that to even 40, it's a win-win for me. It doesn't mean that I have solved for everything. It may, probably it's going to take another couple of years for that technology and the model to be at a place where you get a new client and immediately you are able to get exactly the data that you require for your analysis. We're not there. But yeah, eventually, gradually, we'll probably be there.
So in other words, can we say that this will streamline or increase the accuracy in the output? And more specifically, let's say, when it comes to the US GAAP reporting where they require the actuarial valuation details to be given about the reasoning of actuarial gain loss, etc. So that kind of output, and you can say assumption analysis output. So whether accuracy will increase or...
I would say that the accuracy that we have today also is probably the best. So I don't know whether it's going to increase accuracy because the kind of work which actuaries are doing today, and I'm not talking only about Mercer, the results are fantastic. You really get real accurate results. It's like for example, whenever any actual project is done, it's kind of a layered project where a reviewer is reviewing and probably there's another senior actuary who's reviewing the outputs. And usually the output which goes out to client is accurate. The amount of time which is required to get to that accuracy, amount of effort that is required to get to that accuracy is the question. So not the accuracy itself.
Yes, sir, I think it's a journey. For me personally, I've started using our internal tool a few weeks back. The kind of results it gives, it's fascinating. It summarizes a huge chunk of data in a much faster and a much concise manner, but I still have to spend probably an equivalent amount of time to validate that information. So in my own eyes, it's like if I want to search on a particular topic, I probably would go to Google, search that topic, maybe 5-10 options that comes up, I try and find out those details from those. AI is probably doing that in the background and coming up with the summary. But I'm not sure how that algorithm is working. I'm not sure what is the source it is using. Like my understanding is the public version of ChatGPT is having a data which is as of 2021. So if I'm looking at a more recent topic, whether in future it will be biased towards recent data or it will be biased towards previous information. So those kind of, I think, insights are not available to us right now. But if we have to imbibe an AI tool in our process, I think it needs to be in a much controlled environment. And actually, specifically, when they're using AI to take a decision, would need to have more deeper understanding of how it is putting the weights in assessing that information. So if it is putting more weights on a more recent data, or is it putting more weights on some historical data? Because we know we are living in a volatile world, so too much dated information might not be relevant today or might give a bias to the AI output. So I'm still learning, and probably I see in some time we'll start having more processes where we are collecting data which will help remove some of these biases in the AI tools.
Okay. So maybe let me take some of the questions in the Q&A. So one of the participant has asked whether AI will replace the actuaries. So as I am also an actuary, I can say that actuarial exam is more tougher than maybe learning AI. But what is your take and suggestion to the professional actuaries?
AI is going to replace something for sure. I don't think so it's going to replace actuaries as such, but actuaries who know AI are going to replace actuaries who don't know AI. That's for sure. So that's how I look at it. Every profession for that matter, I mean, people are moving towards AI, and when you have to make processes efficient, accurate, and you have to deliver better analysis to your clients, people who are doing it, if they don't think in terms of technology, that technology will not be able to evolve. If actuaries don't start thinking in terms of how to apply AI in their daily jobs, then you are not doing justice to your profession as well. So from my perspective, I don't think so it's going to replace AI. Obviously, when you do something faster, you free up your time. And how you utilize that time is up to you. But having said that, in case you're investing yourself and investing in learning AI, that's going to give you an advantage in future for sure.
I think if I look back the period when I was giving my exams, we didn't have the elements of R and Python, which is now, I believe, or the Excel modeling, which are now part of the regular curriculum. So I feel from profession perspective, at some point of time in near future, we'll start looking at these new technology also to be included, at least to make the student members and the fraternity aware of what they do. I think it's more important for an actuary to know what an AI tool can do, how it can help. And as Jitu mentioned, that those who have that understanding that how to utilize the technology will definitely have an edge. We probably then can apply our own judgment where in our profession and where in our processes we can apply it with full confidence, because personally I think reliability of the present technology might not be at that level that we can introduce it in our processes, but some version of it will definitely help. And thirdly, I think those colleagues who will be able to identify how this technology can make us more efficient or can help us build a better deliverable for a client will definitely have an edge in future.
Okay, so in interest of time, I will take one more question from Q&A, that what are some of the softwares you can suggest for AI implication in the employee benefit industry, or whether you are developing your own company specific software or?
So we are taking help from other companies. In the morning there was a presentation by a gentleman from Microsoft. He was talking about his suite of offerings. Microsoft is one of the preferred ones. Mercer is taking help of a company called Zero System. In the background, obviously, those softwares which happen, even I'm not 100% aware of what is the technology happens, but coding is done either in Python, AWD, there are a couple of other softwares. But to imagine how AI can help your process, you probably don't have to be a technology expert to get into the last depth of the coding or of the software tool. That probably is best left to software coders. But having said that, you need to have that imagination how this tool can help you. That's what I would rather harp on. But yeah, to answer that question, Microsoft and then Google is also offering its AI suite. So you can always explore that.
So any other last question from the audience, if any? Yes, sir, please. Can we have some mic?
Thank you for the nice session. The first disruption which AI did to any sector, that was content writing. And I was talking to some content writers, And I found that they take help of whatever is there in the public domain, but wherever their own expertise lies, they don't feed it to AI, because then AI will become more smart than them. So now AI is as smart as you feed them. And if that mindset continues in any particular domain, now content is already disrupted, but actuarial profession is completely not disrupted. So it is our choice. Do we want to bring AI, disrupt our domain or not? Now, what I see is whether we have a willingness to disrupt our domain, and that willingness, I think, that depends on how much we are willing to scale ourselves up. Depending on the scalability, we invite disruptions. So this is something which I am expecting from the profession, that how they can motivate their professionals to disrupt their profession so that they don't stagnate and they remain equally, like in the session before, we were hearing that we are very deep, but we are not broad enough. But in fact, we are taught to be deep, broad, and relevant, all three. And if we want to be all three, that means disruption is must. So in fact, my question is to the profession, that how you are planning and strategizing to disrupt us through AI. How much you want to power AI that it disrupts us. So any thought about that from profession?
So in fact, good thoughts. So in fact, Institute is also working on the aspect which in the morning the IRDA chairman has pressed upon to increase the number of professionals. So Institute is already working on to increase the scalability of actuaries on the supply side, as well as Institute is also working on the demand side of the actuarial profession. So on both the fronts, the profession is already working. All the council members have been given specific charge for the same, and it is in the process, I would say. Any other question on this? Yes.
Leaving commentary. Not a big commentary, but it was just, I think, sir, you said something that I remembered. So about a year and a half ago, 2 years now, when ChatGPT came out, there were a lot of YouTube videos, of all the big tech giants talking about it all. And I just remember a small little quote. So I thought I'll just, hopefully it just ties a few things together. And the gentleman on the stage said, "Who remembers who made the fridge? But who remembers Coca-Cola?" And he said it's the people like Coca-Cola who learned how to use the fridge that have lasted and have become the biggest and the most famous and all the rest of it. So I thought that was quite a little quote to match to what you were saying, yes. That really it's how you use it, and the actuaries that will learn how to use it, that will be replacing the ones that don't know how to use it, rather than the technology entirely replacing actuaries.
It's quite an interesting technology as well. It's quite relatable as well. Both Hemanshu and I are passionate. We are not actually AI experts, as I mentioned in the beginning, but the technology is so engrossing, and the amount of potential it shows. You start reading one thing and then you want to read another. That's how it is.
So I would like to thank Institute for this opportunity, for this session, and thank you to the audience.
Can we have a round of applause, please? That was an amazing session. I'd like to call Mr. Mayur Ankulekar to actually present the memento to chair and speakers. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you.